Well, Mark, welcome back to East End Park.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you, and I believe you've not been back here since you actually left the club as a player.
No, I have not. It's been a long, long time. 89, I think, that 90 I left. The difference is amazing, but I think that's the same with every club in Scotland you go into. It used to be that they were kind of, had a family atmosphere to it, places like Dunfermline. Now it's all champagne and skittles, it's all singing or dancing.
How did the move to Dunfermline come about? Because it was Jim Leishman that signed you in 1987?
87, 88 I think I came. Well, we were talking earlier about the Queen's Park team, and I think I played in the Queen's Park team that played against Dunfermline, and we played against them a few times. And by all accounts I heard after I had came here that when we all left, McCall came. I think Ian McCall had came. That Leash wanted me to come here as well. I had filled so many clubs at that point so I had a few offers when I was leaving Queen's Park. They found out fairly quickly just how bad I was, but at that time I had a few offers and I had eventually went to Celtic. But I was supposed to come here at the same time as McCall was, and then obviously wasn't getting a game at Celtic and was delighted to come here. Didn't realise how big a club they were at the time until I came.
Because at that time Dunfermline were they'd just been promoted to the Premier League, and that season that you were here, so it maybe wasn't, I don't know, was it a good season to be here or not? Because they ended up being relegated. I
think there was good and bad in everything. I think I was thinking about this the other night actually, that for me it was great because what I came from Celtic, who were a huge club who had very good players at the time, was told, with all due respect to myself, probably wasn't good enough to play there, and that's probably the truth. Came to Dunfermline, for me it was great because now all of a sudden I was established first team player. Bad side was I think Dunfermline had went through a spell where they had a team for so long, same players, went league after league after league to come up to the Premier, which is a huge job. It's a huge job to go from the first to the Premier, especially then when you think of the Aberdeens, the Dundee United teams that they had. So it was great for me. I think the problem was, and the flip side of that was, we had Dunfermline's personnel had changed so much, and I think there wasn't a lot of harmony, if I could put it that way, because boys that had been here for so long and were still here had seen their friends or their guys that they had grew up with go, and other people had came in, myself included, although guys like Norrie and John never made me feel anything but welcome. The whole club never made me feel anything but welcome, but I think it was great for me, but there was also a flip side to that. It was difficult for the club to make that change.
And those of us that were here when you were playing,
you're not old enough to be.
Can remember you firing up the right wing?
Well, I think as far as my own ability or whatever is concerned, I think times are great. I think people get kind of sentimental as far as they forget just how bad you were rather than and make you a wee bit better than you were. I had a good season here and I really enjoyed myself, and I think that's the thing. I think when it kind of feeds off each other. When you're enjoying yourself, or when you feel comfortable at a club, you play well. And when you play well, you feel more comfortable. That kind of thing, that can change very quickly, but that's certainly, that first season at Dunfermline was the way I felt. I felt welcome, I felt a first team player, I felt, you deserve to be here.
Yeah, you were quite young.
I think it was not even so much the fact that I was young. I came from Queen's Park, which was an amateur club. I hadn't came through the ranks with anybody, so I was inexperienced rather than went to Celtic, never felt comfortable there because there were just so many big stars there. Always struggled to get a game. Knew I was always going to struggle to get a game. So I think it was more inexperienced. Now it came here and it was a kind of, well, you're no longer the boy, or you're no longer the kind of 7th, 8th or 9th in pecking order. Now you were kind of there. The team relied on, not just me per se, but we were the kind of mainstay. Norrie, John, Ross Jack, Craig Roberts, they kind of people, they relied on you. So if we didn't get a result on a Saturday, say, it wasn't, don't blame the boy, it was, no, you take the blame, because you're the main, what we consider our first team players.
Yeah.
And I think that was good. It was great because it's an experience. It helps you on, not just in football but in life, to say you need to take responsibility now. You're no longer a wee boy.
Is there any game that you particularly enjoyed or that you've got a good memory about?
Now that you come to mind, one was the Ayr United game with the replay up there at Somerset, because I think that when we came here we were having a hard time. Ayr were doing great, and I think Ali McLeod had come away with the call. We're in the same league, you know. They were in the league below us, and we were looking like we're going to get relegated. To him, came out there and they were excellent that day, and we done well to hang in. But the game up there, I thought we totally dominated that, and I think that was a kind of pressure. I think that was a kind, you know, it was a, well, there's pressure on you now. Dunfermline in the Premier were always kind of, because we just came up, whereas the pressure was on us that day. I remember that. I remember the Wednesday night. I remember, because I go to Ayr quite a lot to do the stuff, and I can remember the place being jam-packed. Dunfermline supporters everywhere. Game stopped. Our game held up because to try and get the supporters in. I remember that, and I remember we beat Dundee 6-1 out here. And I think that was one of the times we had some good results that year. You know, people maybe say we get relegated, but we had some really good results that year, apart from the Rangers game, which everybody remembers. But I remember the 6-1 game, Dundee, because I know Stuart Rafferty and that had came here, and their excuse was, we had played whatever it was. Their excuse was they were tired. I don't care. I'll take a 6-1 any day.
While you were here, you didn't score many goals.
No.
Because you were supposed to be supplying them.
Yeah, well.
But everybody will remember the goal against Rangers in the Scottish Cup.
Aye.
What's your reflection on that one?
Listen, we all know that it was a cross. I think anybody that's seen me playing would know that that was my thinking behind it was, I reckon that as bad as my crosses were, you had John Watson and Ross Jack, and you also had Craig Robertson. Excellent near the three of them. So no matter how bad my ball was for the wing, if you got something anywhere even close, we had a chance. So that was my thinking with that. It was a cross that had just went in. But can I just say that the second goal at least takes responsibility. He says, it's great to see something working in the training ground. Please bear with me with this, because it is there is a story behind it. We were training up at St Andrews, and where we were training, it wasn't like nowadays. It was a public park, and behind the goals there was an old-fashioned swing park, and it had one of these roundabouts. It's a frying pan, we used to call them, but so anyway, we were practising the thing. So Stuart Beattie took the corner, I came off, and I got a touch there, and people me in. So after the game, that's what happened in the game. Winker scores a goal, and great, and he takes responsibility for it. But what he didn't tell you was, John Watson was playing in the swings when we were practising this. John Watson wasn't involved in everything that they kind of, but John Watson was playing in the frying pan, and that's what I can always remember. He's playing in the swings, and yeah, at least takes. It's great to see something working in the training ground when we flicking, Mark flicked it on and whatever it is. He scored the goals on the swings. That can't be work. That can't be part of the plan. So my goal was a cross, but I'm not having him taking responsibility. Him taking credit for the second goal. Yeah. So
that's good to get that one on.
Aye, I would just like to say that. That's been bugging me for a long time.
But it was a great result for the club.
It was a great result, and I think what it does, it wasn't, as far as my goal was concerned, if you remember back then, Rangers were giving us a bit every time we played them. And I think my goal, regardless of how it went in, it was not to do with how it went in or whatever it is. I think what it did was give us a bit, because we hadn't scored against them first, we were just, and you get into that mindset of, oh God, here we go again, this is a real struggle. Whereas I think the goal, for what it was, I think everybody says, well, hold on a minute, this is strange for us, maybe we'll try and give this a go. We're no longer, and we held our own. They were better side, but I think we gave them a go that day. And I think after that, if I can remember right, we actually gave them a far better game the times that we played them after that. It gave us a bit of confidence, I think, against that team, who were obviously the team in Scotland at that time.
That's right, yeah. The following, because we were relegated, I mean, you played with the likes of Graham Roberts and Bobby Smith as well.
Yeah.
And the next season, when we were in the first division, you got a few injuries, I think, that season, and you didn't play as often.
I didn't. My knee. I've had 5 operations in my knee, and I think I was up to 3 when I'd got here, and I just couldn't shift it. Near the end, I think near the end of I was getting fit again. The problem was that the club had kind of turned again. They'd went forward again. They'd brought Isfan, and they brought Georgia Boyle, and I think the whole club was kind of changing again, which that's just the way of football. You know, very few people are Norrie McCarthy, very few, and hence the reason why he's so well thought of. Very few people are Norrie, and for all you don't know it at the time, again that inexperience that I spoke about earlier, and as much as you don't realise that you take it personal. Oh, they're not playing me, or they want rid of me. It's not personal. Football's not like that. It's just, and then when you go on further on, then you realise. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. It's a progression. So, I found it difficult. My last season before I left here, I found it difficult. And what had happened was I had went on loan to Stoke, and by that time I had found maybe my form and my fitness. The only problem was Dunfermline had kind of moved on and had brought other players in, and they had to sell me to bring people in. So I did find it difficult, but it was a great time. You know, they stood. They kind of gave me that confidence to go and have a career that's landed 12 years, which, by way of my ability, was was naming feet. Let me tell you, it was. Aye.
How do you look back on your time playing here then?
It was great. We moved up. I moved here. Me and my wife moved up here. It was great, and it was an experience because she'd always lived where she had. I had always lived where I had. We hadn't moved anywhere, and then all of a sudden we had made this decision to we're going to move to Dunfermline, which again made it easier for us to move to England, because we weren't just moving straight from where we had always known to there. We had moved to Dunfermline, which I'm not saying that it's, you know, I'm not immigrating, but it's still a big step for a newly married couple that would and it made it easier for us to move down to England, to have that career, to move back up. And now me and her sit down and think, well, it was great. We experienced things that maybe we would never have experienced if it wasn't for football. She might not agree with you.
Is there any players that stand out for you that you played with here?
I think that's the thing about football's great in so many aspects. It shows you about people who, different characters that bring. Norrie is obviously that Norrie and John were the mainstay of this club. I could tell you, and what all football also gives you is 100 stories. I'm not the funniest boy in the world, but there is I could tell you 100 stories about all different clubs. Them, John and Norrie were great for different reasons. Friends, Ross Jack, I really liked Ross. Ross was a great lad, always helpful in football, and a good night out as well. He's really funny at a night out. And that I could say that about every club that I've ever went to. There's different characters there who bring so many different things. Norrie's the obvious one. He made, especially when me and Maria moved up, he was great about getting us electricians and great. If you get time for a story, there's a story that I'll kind of embellish this a bit, but it involved Maria. Here, we just moved up, looking for a fridge, and we bought a fridge. The guy sold them for his house, so we went Saturday morning, went to the guy's house, bought the fridge, and he'd said we'd deliver it, so I'd paid him, came back, there's something just wasn't right about him. Don't ask me what, just me and Maria had says, something not right about that guy. So I'm playing, so in we come, and I've said to Norrie, Norrie was the first one, I said to Norrie, stop you, so I've just bought a fridge, paid the guy says he'll deliver it. I says, Maria's going to be in the house herself, I don't know what it is about him, I don't know. So Norrie's like, would Maria remember where to go? I says, aye, she would remember. We went, came back, sorted. Okay, don't worry about it, it's done. Fine, came back, spoke to Maria. I said, Maria, what happened? So I'd phone Maria, because it wasn't the days of mobile phones, it was I had to get on the phone Maria, somebody's coming up, white van, don't worry about it, no problem, come up. I'd say to Maria, what happened? I come back for the game, what happened? She says, well, white van turned up, 2 guys get out and said, "You Maria?" I jump in. Maria says, "So I've jumped in the car, in this van. Do you know where you're going?" Aye. Just drove the van up to where it is. That's the house there. 2 guys out, walked in, chapped the door. I don't know whether they waited for the door to open, but the door got opened. The next minute the guy came out with the fridge under his arm. Maria says, "I'm still sitting in the van." So the guy came in, put the fridge in the van and says to Maria, "Do you need anything else?" And Maria says, I'm sure that if I did need anything else, it came in the price of the fridge." The guys just came out, fridge in, drove away, no hassle. And that's the type of guy he was. He was like, I think people would say he's the strong. He wasn't the big shouter. But what he did was, he was just that type of guy. You got a problem? If I can I'll sort it for you, don't worry about it. I think that's why so many people have so many good things to say about Norrie, because that's the type of thing he does. So at this club, Norrie and John would be the 2 that I think. Sorry for keeping you so long.
What does Mark Smith do now that you've hung up your boots?
Mark Smith, Maria, her dad started a taxi company when we were in England, and we were kind of part of it. We came up back home and we kind of took to do with that until we sold the taxi company. What we did was, where we stay, there's a lot of fields, farms, and we take kids from the farms to either the school bus or we take them to school. It's just a small company. There's only me and Maria, and I've maybe got 5 or 6 boys that work, either drive my cars or the old taxi company. It's great. We get 190 days a year. That's how we work. I work an hour in the morning, an hour at night. Never be rich, but never be poor, and it gives me time to do it.
So you never opened up a clothes shop then?
No, so I was always. I told you that.
I was doing my research. Yeah, one of your ambitions was to open a clothes shop.
Clothes. It doesn't look like it. I came dressed for the winter rather than fashion. But I always clothes have always been a kind of thing of mine. I've always kind of quite liked buying clothes and always fancied selling clothes. But
and one of the other things that you do is you do the Opta stars.
Warren is the guy that runs the thing in Scotland. He stays across the road from me. Warren played with Morton, and I'm just lucky enough that he stays across the road. And when it first started up, he kind of said to me, "Do you fancy doing it?" And it's great because I get to go to football on a Saturday. The money's always helpful. That's good. I've said to him a couple of times about coming to Dunfermline. I'm quite happy to come through, but I think he's got guys at certain bits. So always.
So your opinion this season then, because we've seen you at Ayr United doing the stats there. So what's your opinion on the league this season?
I think as far as Ayr United is concerned, when I seen them at the start, because I'd been doing them for a few years, and when Ian McCall had kind of came, they'd started off really good to watch, like House on Fire, which is unusual because he brought a lot of different players in, which is great. And I think they're establishing themselves here. But I think any time I've seen Dunfermline, because I've seen Dunfermline at St Mirren as well and stuff, I think they're just that bit stronger. I think they're more equipped to go when the time, because it's great. See when the sun's shining and the grass is growing and everything's happy. That's great. That doesn't really win you championships. That doesn't get you where you want to be. What gets you where you want to be is when you're up at, with all due respect, Forfar on a Tuesday night and it's pouring a rain and the grass is, that's what gets you. And I just feel Dunfermline will match anybody as far as the football's concerned. I think the difference between Dunfermline and what I've got is it's that strength of character, that extra bit, half yard or whatever it is you want to call it. I think plus the support, don't overestimate the support here. It's huge. As I said, that was the one thing that kind of surprised me, because I'm from West of Scotland and you only see Celtic, Rangers or whatever place. You came through here and I couldn't believe I don't know what it's like now, but when I was here it was phenomenal.
Well, Mark, it was lovely to speak to you, and it's nice to see you back here at East End Park.
Thank you very much.
And don't leave it so long the next time.
No, I'll definitely won't. Thank you very much.
And enjoy your day.
I will do. Thank you.